I would like to introduce you to our next MC who is taking the baton. And then basically you then get to hear and meet all of the other speakers as well. And if you haven't had a chance to connect with me, please connect with me via the link in the LinkedIn chat. If you have any questions or need any help on community strategy as well, you're more than welcome to join our cohort program, which kicks off next week, to learn how to build a community strategy alongside 100 other community managers. I'm very grateful also about the incredible speakers involved in that cohort program. And so really, we would like to now thank you all for joining. And now don't go anywhere, because we have another speaker coming right up and an incredible MC to introduce you to the next segment of Loop. So I would like to get Anjum up here basically to be the next MC. I mean, wow, like how exciting is this? And if you've never connected, Anjum is a community architect and membership growth expert, and really been helping businesses strengthen their industry relationships and all of the things in between. But Anjum is also the country community manager led by community for the Dubai region. So Anjum, how are you? And are you in Dubai right now? What time is it?
Hello. I'm doing fantastic. How are you? You've been there for a long time. Yeah?
Yes. Yeah, we've been on here for, we've been 16 hours in the Loop, which is phenomenal. So what time is it for you in Dubai right now?
It's 10:50 a.m. in the morning and it's super hot outside.
Okay, I love that. Well, it's about 5 p.m. here in Australia, so we get to pass the baton over to you. So thank you so much for enjoying all of this for Loop, and thanks for being with my wild pizzazz energy. And Anjum, have the most divine time. I'll see you in the Loop.
Thank you, Paz. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final leg of the Loop, the 24-hour Global Community Summit. We're so excited to keep this energy going. And can we have some more energy? We've got 8 more hours to go. Can we have some energy in the chat, please? How are you guys feeling? What's happening? How many of you just joined in? And from where are you joining in? I could get to know it. It would be amazing. Yeah, thank you. Hi, Akash. Good to see you. So let's just keep the energy going. Led by community here, global ecosystem supporting community professionals to grow, scale, and thrive through resources, events, and shared best practices. So before we move on to our amazing speakers, we would just like to thank you for making this summit a huge success. And do we have the next speaker? And we'll get her on board soon. We're going to have Liselotte Peterson coming up next. She's the community manager with WithSecure. Liselotte is the community manager where she creates vibrant online communities for customers and partners. She's increased active users by 25%, tripled page views, and launched a partner forum, earning Community Champion of the Year 2024 with High Logic Super Forum. Previously, she spent 11 years at Spark2.com as leading customer success teams and key account strategies. She's fluent in English, Dutch, French, that's a lot. Liselotte brings a versatile approach to community building and collaboration. Hi, Liselotte. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Good morning from Finland. I should say, hyvää huomenta.
I give you the mic. The stage is all yours. Please go.
Thank you very much. I'm Liselotte Peterson. Thank you for the beautiful introduction there. I'm the community manager of WithSecure, and I'm honored to be here with you at Loop today. It's been quite the agenda. I've been following it since last night, but I do admit I did go to bed in the middle. But before I get started on my little piece in Loop here today, I want to start with a bit of context about our journey. So F-Secure is a cybersecurity company that is based in Finland, which is where I am today. And in 2022, it demerged. So it separated its B2C and B2B businesses. So F-Secure continued to focus on consumer security, while F-Secure became Europe's leading cybersecurity company, serving the B2B market globally. So at the time of the demerger, the B2B content from the F-Secure community was migrated to the newly created WithSecure community platform. Now, F-Secure's community had been thriving, users loved gamification, peer-to-peer support was strong, and super users were actively engaged. So in this session, I'll walk you through how we identified the gaps, experimented, learned, and transformed our community into a place that drives efficiency, engagement, and collaboration across customers, partners, and staff. You'll also hear how we used data-driven decisions, user-focused improvements, and strategic optimizations to transform the community into a thriving self-service platform. So WithSecure community was never an experiment, and it was never a side project. And from the very beginning, it was designed to be an everyday channel. It's a place where customers, partners, and employees come to connect, collaborate, and get real value. So when I started in the beginning of 2023, just after the demerger, we inherited the bones of a community page. There was a federated search, a discussion board, a navigation bar, a leaderboard, and a handful of users. But it wasn't fully optimized at all. Our federated search often led users down rabbit holes. The navigation bar had too many links, and the general UX was clunky and confusing, and we were really struggling with page view numbers. So it needed a lot of focus and a lot of structure too. So the goal was clear: transform the platform into a living, integrated self-service hub that supports every persona, customers, partners, and staff alike. This kind of frictionless experience is no longer optional. Self-service is not a perk in B2B. It's expected. So when I first stepped into this role, I thought we could simply pick up a playbook, do some gamification, content calendars, member programs, and surely following all these steps, it should all work out. But I quickly learned that communities are not copy-paste. What worked for F-Secure community in the B2C world, or any other B2B community for that sake, doesn't automatically work for B2B cybersecurity professionals. Our audience is busy. They are highly technical and focused on solving problems. They don't log in for entertainment. They log in for answers, insights, and ways to do their jobs more effectively. Now, this was both intimidating and liberating. Intimidating because there was no ready-made formula, and liberating because it meant it was our job to not follow a playbook, and it was to write our own story based on what our users actually needed. So from the start, our challenge was to create a community that drives utility first and not engagement. Every decision, from design to content strategy, needed to serve that purpose. Now, this approach aligns with what Forrester calls customer-obsessed organizations, companies that outperform peers in growth, retention, and profitability by prioritizing customer needs in every decision. And communities are a key tool in this strategy, enabling companies to listen, learn, and act faster. So we adopted this mindset at WithSecure, learning what worked for our B2B users. So in our early days, we tried everything to drive engagement. We ran campaigns with points, leaderboards, badges, treasure hunts, and giveaways. I honestly thought that gamification would make the community stickier and more fun. But you know what happened? Not much at all. Our members are cybersecurity engineers. They are IT admins and partner consultants. And they weren't here to play games. They came to get answers, solve problems, and collaborate. They didn't need badges or flashy campaigns. They needed solutions. This was a turning point for us because we realized that less is more. Gamification still exists in our community today if you go and have a look, but it's highly focused and personalized. Users earn badges when their valuable content is featured in a roundup post, for example, or we even send out swag to our very top contributors. Now, these badges and leaderboards only recognize meaningful contributions. We learned that engagement comes from relevance. So by focusing on personalized recognition instead of generic campaigns, we honor our most active users without overwhelming or disrupting the broader community. So after realizing that gamification alone didn't drive engagement, we shifted our focus from entertaining to enabling. So we reimagined the community around intent. Every decision had one question in mind. What does the user want to accomplish in this visit? We stripped it back to essentials: a clean design, clear value propositions, and intent-driven navigation. We focused on paths that aligned with real user goals, knowledge-based articles, product updates, learning, collaboration. Every element, such as search results, featured articles, and highlighted discussions, were chosen to get users to their destination faster. We added content with value. We archived all of the outdated content. So our knowledge base is now a living and breathing source of information, and we ensure its relevance by daily updates and edits. These are done by our customer support team. Now, our product updates are also integrated into our customer portals. So users get notified right where they work, then redirected to the community. We also consolidated the product ideas portal into the community. This reduced friction and made it easier for users to find everything in one place. This was about helping our members succeed immediately, not keeping them on the site longer for metrics. It marked a mindset shift. The community is now a tool that enabled outcomes. They were fast, reliable, and user-centered. And we saw the results. There was a 400% traffic increase, followed by a stabilization. Now, these changes happened over the course of 2 years, 2.5+ years, and user behaviors helped us identify what really added value along the way and continue to do so. Now, remember that B2B buyers now expect the same ease and personalization that they get from B2C platforms like Amazon or Netflix. So keep this in mind when designing your community. By shifting from entertaining to enabling, we created a community that delivers real utility. And one of the hardest lessons we learned early on was that short visits can be a sign of success and not failure. In the B2B cybersecurity world, users come to solve a problem, confirm information, or check updates. They spend just a few short minutes per visit and then often finding exactly what they need and clicking away. And at WithSecure, our average visit today is 2.25 page views, which might seem low compared to other consumer platforms, but for us, it's ideal because it means that each visit is highly targeted, purposeful, and efficient. So instead of keeping users engaged with flashy content, we designed the community so that they can get answers quickly. We have a clean homepage and navigation so they don't get lost. A federated search that pulls knowledge articles, updates, and training materials and discussion posts all into a single view. And we provide direct paths to solutions based on user intent and role. So to make the community truly effective, we had to understand who we were serving. And that's when personas came in. So we identified 3 core user types. We have the break fixer. These users are often firefighting, responding to urgent security incidents. They don't have time to scroll or browse. They need fast, precise answers. So for them, we built shortcuts to our most viewed knowledge base apps, direct links to release notes, and intuitive search results, because here, every click counts. Then we have the explorer. Explorers are proactive. They're looking for updates, training, and insight. They're not in crisis, but they want to understand what's new, learn best practices, and see how others are approaching problems. So for these users, we prioritized monthly feature updates, localized content, and educational resources. And then we have the co-creator. Now, these are our advanced users, partners or internal staff who want to collaborate and influence the product. So they can contribute feedback, share ideas, and validate features. So for them, we gave them a direct line to product teams. We created a dedicated partner sub-community, giving partners 20 connect, share insights, and collaborate directly with WithSecure staff. This one unlocked a co-creation opportunity and real-time feedback loop that had never existed before. So mapping these personas wasn't just an academic exercise. It directly informed our design decisions, our content prioritization, and engagement strategy. So by thinking in terms of personas, we can tailor the experience for each type of user. The break fixer gets a rapid solution. The explorer stays informed, and the co-creator feels empowered to shape the product. Now, you might have just heard me say the word localization, and this was one of the most impactful shifts in our community strategy. Users need to see content in their language, with context that feels relevant to their work environment. So before we localized our content, our top traffic came primarily from the USA, India, and Finland. But after translating key content and tailoring resources for markets like Japan, Germany, and France, engagement skyrocketed. For example, our page views in Japan increased by over 100%, Germany by over 70%, and France by over 50%. So why does this matter? Because by meeting people where they are, we created a more relevant, trustworthy experience. Localization is about making users feel understood and supported wherever they are. This drives higher engagement, faster resolution, and more meaningful participation in our community. So a thriving community is as much as it is about external users as it is about internal users too. Without buy-in from staff, a community cannot reach its potential. And that's why I focused heavily on internal engagement from the start. We built the community as a shared tool. I started by talking to colleagues across support, product, marketing, sales, any department, you name it, I've probably talked to them, asking about their pain points and exploring how community could help. Now, slowly but surely, we shifted the perception of our community and it became a go-to resource for the whole business. So to keep everyone aligned and engaged, I post a bi-weekly internal blog, which highlights trends, updates, and key community insights. Staff can then come in and read it to understand what's happening and see how users are interacting with our product. And this ensures that community isn't just a tool, it's now a part of the business strategy. It directly ties back to key goals like reducing support overhead, increased product adoption, driving customer retention, and building brand advocacy. Internal engagement also creates advocates across departments. When staff see real value in the community, they participate, they respond to posts, they share insights, and escalate issues when necessary. So this integration of internal knowledge strengthens the platform for external users while reinforcing its strategic role in business. So reflecting on our journey, there are several key lessons that shaped how WithSecure's community evolved. Speed beats stickiness. In our case, the most valuable visits are often the shortest. Personas bring clarity. Early on, we realized that trying to serve everyone equally left no one truly satisfied. So by developing persona templates, we could understand our users. Localization pays off. When we localize key content for key markets, our engagement soared. Internal buy-in is everything. Without support from colleagues, community efforts falter. By sharing insights, hosting workshops, just grabbing a coffee with someone, we built a network of internal advocates who champion the community and help close those gaps. Community connects, linking customers, partners, and staff in ways that no other channel can. So as we look into the future, our focus is on evolving the community to be even more strategic, personalized, and collaborative. Personalization. New users should have a different experience than a seasoned expert. Partners should see tailored content, and staff should see insights relevant to their role. We're also exploring how AI can help surface the right content at the right time without losing the human touch. Automation will help highlight trends, potential gaps, and opportunities for engagement. And then co-creation. Community is no longer a feedback channel. It's a co-creation engine. So in short, our journey isn't just about tools and tech. It's about partnership, trust, and connection. By focusing on these three things, and continuous learning, we aim to make WithSecure's community an indispensable resource for users and staff alike. So if there is one lesson at WithSecure that this journey has taught me, it's this. The messy middle is where the growth happens. And sometimes I think we're still in it. When I started in the beginning of 2023, the B2B community was alive, but none of it worked optimally and it wasn't delivering the engagement that we needed. So we experimented. We tried everything. Most of it didn't stick. But each failure taught us something important. That through all of this, I've learned that growth isn't linear, it's messy, it requires constant listening. Embracing the messy middle allowed us to learn, adapt, and ultimately deliver a high-value community experience. So the takeaway from my little speech today here is don't fear the mistakes. Don't wait for perfection. Success comes from experimentation, listening, and being willing to pivot. This messy middle isn't a setback. It's your growth engine. So I'll leave you with that today. I'll leave my LinkedIn in the chat as well. And I'm obviously happy to answer any questions that you've got. And have a fantastic rest of the day.
Thank you, Liselotte. That was amazing. It was like so super good. So let's see what people in the chat have to say. And we've seen an increase in participants joining in. So we've got about 282 right now. Let's see where are people joining us from. If you could let us know in the chat. And
are there any other Finns here today? I'm sorry, I'm not Finnish. Actually, I should have added that to my bio that I can speak a bit of Finnish.
Okay, and that was great. Thanks. Hi, Sarah. Where are you joining us from? Just let us know that as well, and we would move on to the Q&A in just a bit. We see the questions coming in. So there's a question for you. So the question is, what are the trends in the VC founder communities?
You're going to have to tell me what VC community found.
George, the question is back at you.
I'm going to have to put it back at you. You're throwing fancy terms at me there.
So it's clear. And then let's see, we've got another one coming in.
Also, I'm difficult with acronyms.
So maybe until we get back at George, we've got one more. Do you use your portal for all communications, or do you still use emails and other channels too?
A mix is always best. That's what we always say, right? So we have our in-person events for communications. We have emails. We have our account managers that will still, use a classical phone call. Mix is always best. Yeah, each customer has their own portal, and there's little notifications in there for product updates. They need to know that.
Yes. There's one more. Do you have any tips to get internal departments like development more involved in a community and make them see the value more?
That's an excellent question. I'd say I started honestly just talking to everyone first, and then usually it'll open up the conversation because I'll say, what department do you work for? I'll find out that they're in product, for example, and I'll say, well, I'm a community manager. And most of the time, the response that I'll get is, what's a community? Because people think that it's social media, and we all know that it's not. So I'll say, well, actually, it's our self-help resource. And we have this many members, and we have this many questions coming in. And maybe you could post something, and then all of a sudden you reel them in like that, right? And so I think the best way is just tell people what you do and why you do it, and they will see the value. Because with us, after a while, it was actually them coming to me saying, well, I want to post something, or I want to host and ask me any question. So tell them about what you do and why you do it, and they will see the value.
Right. People mixing up social media and community. I get it way too many times.
Yeah.
Sometimes like, no, just hold on. That's social media. Oh, one more from Julian. Do you have to learn all the AI from 5 to 9 now? Okay, interesting.
Would you mind expanding on that, Julian? Because I'd love to answer something AI related, but
That's the question. Let me just scroll up and see if there's another bit that Julian has posted. I don't see anything. Julian will get back to us. We're getting a lot of questions. Let's see the next one. How many people are in a community team? By Mihaela.
I know I'm not alone in this one. So I'm the only one that has the official title of community manager. But we are not in this alone. I have an excellent boss who is a senior self-support, channel, digital support, anything manager. And then we actually have a developer that has stepped into the company just over a year ago and who has done amazing things in our community. So there's 3 of us. And I know I'm not alone. There's a lot of little teams out there, but little and strong.
Julian's come back to us. You need to know it all too.
You have to come back on me again. Otherwise, Julian, you're always welcome to reach out on LinkedIn and we can chat. I don't mind at all.
That's a better way to go forward. Or we can still wait for Julian to type in. If you could explain it a bit, what you're exactly asking about AI, because she's waiting to answer the question as well, Julian.
Well, let me tell you something. I don't know much more about AI than most of you do. And I think the best way to learn AI is LinkedIn has loads of excellent courses, and I'm sure any of these other big, platforms have lots of really good courses on learning how to prompt, and just like any other community, experiment. You'll fail and then try again.
Yes, only when we fail, we try again. That's the secret to success. Yes, that's right. Let's see another question. What was the single most impactful optimization you made that drove the biggest jump in self-adoption service? Self-service adoption.
Yeah, no doubt it was the localization. Because all these users get notified in their portals of new updates, they would click on it and obviously it will take them to community, and then it's all in English. So being able to localize, like I said during the presentation, you could see it in the numbers. It was incredible. And especially for key markets like Japan, France, where users often want to see content, which is a cultural, it's about respect and trust. So that really was the key one for us. Yeah.
Interesting, very good. We're doing so well so far, and we've got more questions coming in. Lisa, you're all occupied for the next 10 minutes. Okay, so we've got Sophia Khan asking, could you share a few learnings from a tough challenge you've experienced?
Yeah, I think I'll go back to the example of gamification on this one, because I'd spent 10 years in e-commerce and even more, was it 11 or 12 even in e-commerce. And so obviously that was a lot of B2C. So I thought what'll work there will surely work in this space, right? And then I came up with a brilliant idea for gamification. It was around Easter. And I thought, I'm going to do a treasure hunt. And I thought this was a brilliant idea. I was super proud of myself. So I posted like little eggs because I thought this is IT people that want, they're cybersecurity professionals. So they know about Google's Easter eggs. I'm going to do the same. It's brilliant. So I posted some Easter eggs around the community every week. And then users would have to collect these eggs. And then they would get something from us, which in our case was WithSecure hoodies, which people seem to really love in our little surprise cybersecurity world. When I posted the first egg, I think like 2 users collected it. And then egg number 2 was posted a week later. Like again, 2-3 users collected it. No, I was so disappointed because I was convinced this was going to work for engagement. I thought our numbers are going to go up. Everyone's going to get a hoodie. I'd already got the budget approved for buying all these hoodies. And I think in the end, I think I sent out like 3 or 4 hoodies. But yeah, that was tough because we always, we think that we have good ideas, but they might not always resonate. That was learning, really learning, okay, this is not how you're going to keep people on the site. And actually, that's what triggered the thought, do I need to keep users on the site? Do they need to stay here longer? And that's when I got that clip. So yeah, good question.
Yeah. Thank you, Sophia. That was a very good question. We've got one more from George. What's the best channel to reach out to technical audiences?
Honestly, my job is very geared towards community and self-service. Now, I know that obviously I'm serving a B2B audience and it's very specific and it's in cybersecurity. But I just find even there's a couple community spaces that are available. I mean, I can send them to you on LinkedIn, which is I'm obviously happy to do. And then obviously I'm cybersecurity. I'm not very much into the rest of tech because as you'll hear from my speeches that I'm not actually technical at all. I'm a community girl, and I'm a self-service type of person. So yeah, let me find you some resources and I'll be happy to send them to you.
We've got one more. How did you get the internal stakeholders aligned around the community optimization strategy?
That's where I'm actually quite lucky in my job, which is that we obviously have our company strategy, and then we adapt our community strategy according to the company strategy. But luckily, we're pretty much free agent in this, in that they trust our expertise. They know that we're driving the company goals forward. We do obviously we do strategy work at the end of every year, like most companies do, and then we pretty much we use the data that we have. We discuss with support what their needs are. We discuss with sales what their needs are, and then we build it around that, right? So at the end of the day, I like to feel that we know what our team knows what our customers need best when it comes to self-support. So our companies always trusted us.
Great. I think we're almost there. We've got a minute left. If you want to take one quick question and then we'll wrap it up for today. If you had to start from scratch today, what's the first diagnostic step you would take to uncover the most critical gaps?
You know what? This is another excellent question. I'd say look at the data, number one, but if you only have very little data, which is something that we had at the beginning of time when I first started this journey, because obviously this community had only been, it was kind of copy pasted from WithSecure, right? So we didn't have much data to go on. So I started simply doing what any other person. I started pretending to be a user, go onto the website, create an account. How does that flow look to you? Is it easy? Are you being blocked anywhere? How many emails are you getting? Are you getting a welcome email? Are you getting a confirmation link? And then go through the steps. Go onto your homepage. Pretend you're a user with an issue, and then just start clicking and see where it leads up. And honestly, you will find so much to improve. And I also encourage you to keep doing this. And I still do it on a regular basis. So sometimes I'll log in, pretend I'm a partner, pretend I'm a new user, pretend I'm a new staff, and then just start testing all those journeys. Every time I will find something, even today, that I think that I can do better.
That was fantastic. And with this, we come to an end for our first session of the last leg of the loop. Thank you, Liselotte. That was amazing insights. Round of applause for Liselotte Peterson for sharing her valuable insights today and spending her time with us today.